How's it going, everyone? It's Artifact. I've got a wicked little Vital bass for you guys today, and we're going to be turning this kind of string stab sound into something a little bit more like this. So I was thinking, how can I get like a nice stab to go with this horror sub that I made yesterday? And yeah, I was just like, I'm going to go for Spitfire Labs a sample library, because they're just absolutely wicked. If you don't use them already, like, they're free samples and they just all sound really nice texturally speaking. Anyway, a bit crazy this morning. Now the problem I had, because I made this kind of MIDI patch here, and this problem turned out to be what led to a good piece of sound design. So I wanted to have this kind of melody going on, and then put the sound into Vital and then play the same melody on there. But the problem is, obviously there's ways you can work around it, but if you go into Vital and you load in the sample, it tends to just play the same note, like even if you go up on the keyboard. Oh, actually you can press it here. I'm such an idiot. You can actually turn it on here. Anyway, what happened was I forgot that you can change that, and I just left I bounced out the single note, just the first string hit, put it into the sampler here, and if I just turn off our effects quickly, and we'll just listen to that on its own. So my MIDI is doing this different kind of melody, as you can see down here, but the sample is playing the same note every time. I just realised I could have switched that on and changed that. But anyway, I left it playing the same note every time. And then we're going to frequency modulate in a kind of sine wave here. So this is obviously changing in pitch. But where the sample stays the same, and then we add frequency modulation here, we get a really interesting effect, because the sine wave, is changing pitch, but the frequency modulated sample is staying the same pitch. Like if we do it like this, it doesn't really sound that cool. But if we leave this, the sample's always the same pitch and the sine wave is changing, then you get this kind of detuning kind of effect that happens in the kind of sound design process. So you can hear this like subtle kind of detuning sound, which is really, really cool. Then if we add in like another sine wave underneath here, just a bit more bass, and then I've thrown in the sample again onto the oscillator one here, and on this section I've just added like an envelope to sort of play out the sample, so you can see it goes up here. So on its own, that part, it's going on this envelope 2 here. So it's kind of like a weird version of the string sound in a wavetable form, but it just kind of sounded like a nice high-end texture. When we play it all together like this, it's not quite ready yet, because what's going to really transform this sound is going to be the effects, primarily the chorus and also the compressor. They just really, sometimes they just work, these effects, sometimes they don't, but sometimes it really just transforms the sound completely. Anyway, this is a lovely, lovely kind of chorused version of the sound. It sounds really like big and wide, and it has like a kind of stereo interesting character on it. I've turned the freeze mode on, and I've just got a couple of little modulations going on the kind of depth and delays here, just to move these voices around a little bit ourselves. Then I think, a little bit of filtering, just playing with the mid-range a little bit and distorting it on the sine fold mode, just to saturate the sound a little bit more, and a compressor comes at the end, and listen to the way it kind of transforms the high end. A little bit extreme in a way. But the sound had this kind of natural character to it already in the beginning, and it's like there was some sort of high-end magic like hidden in the sound somewhere, and then by putting on the compressor, it just like unleashed those harmonics in a way. So that's why it's just sometimes good to just throw it on and see if it like squeezes out these kind of unheard before harmonics of the sound. But yeah, at that point it becomes like a really interesting kind of stab almost. And yeah, I hope you like that little video. And that sound. And yeah, feel free to join on the live stream tonight at 8 p.m. CET, Central European Time. We'll be discussing the top 5 things that I wish I knew when I started producing like 8 years ago or something. That I would just wish I knew then, and it would have saved me so much time. So I'm going to talk about that. And then I've got 5 other questions from some of the lads in my Discord, asking some more specific production questions. I'm going to answer all those. And yeah, maybe at the end we'll do a little bit of freestyle production on one of my upcoming releases. So yeah, definitely come along and check that out tonight, and have a wicked day. Peace.